Hi everyone, this is Jamie and welcome back to my not so serious channel. And today we're actually going to talk about something which is serious and controversial. And no, it's not your mom. Basically, if you're new here, what I do is I do my makeup, I'm a trans guy, I show off my look, and in the meantime as I do it, I just talk about something which is currently going in my head or which I read about or which I think about. And let's get right into it. Today's topic is controversial, like I said, and it's controversial because it's really interesting because I've been in the LGBT community for I don't know how many years, and I was thinking that maybe it's even close to 10. I don't know anymore, to be honest. But I've identified as LGBT for many, many years. And I've kind of seen all the community grow for all the phases and all the fads. And recently I noticed that religion is quite banned within the LGBT community, and I wanted to address that. So basically, I remember back when I lived in the UK, I lived in the UK for a while, and on the opposite, everyone was like, wow, religion, so accepting. And I was kind of on the opposite spectrum. I didn't see it as accepting how people see it now. So pretty much I had the opposite reaction. I thought that it was very cult-like in the UK because everyone was like, oh my god, like you go there, you talk to trans people, it's kind of like you sit in a circle and you discuss your problems. And I volunteered as well. So I didn't understand why would you need to add the extra elements of religion to it. But as time came and went, that same year, I had a very difficult summer due to the UK being absolute fucktards. I'm sorry if you're UK, but if you voted leave the European Union, you know what's coming. So basically, it was a very kind of dark time if you lived in the UK, and it still is a dark time if you're not British, if you're not white, and etc. So well, now we have the opposite. Everyone is against religion. People censor the word God, which is a bit absurd to me, because of course you can understand what's behind that star. It's not a butthole. So what I was thinking about it is that I want to say that I myself, I am religious, and my religion kind of went to its peak because I was talking to one of my parents actually, and we were sitting in a church, and it was after I came out as not straight. And this is a story I tell a lot of people. And I said, I don't think I belong here. And my parents said, no, you do. Because it's about your relationship with God and not your relationship with the church. And then they proceeded to give me an example that suicidal people who commit suicide don't get buried by church rules. And that was something which really stuck to me. And I decided that indeed, religion can be on my terms. And throughout all of my life, I've kind of been in and out of religion. And ever since I had that talk with my parents, I kind of accepted myself as being religious, and I accepted if you must God into my life. But I don't know where my beliefs exactly stand because I do the rituals, I go to church, I pray, but it's something really personal to me, and I think it should be something which should be personal to you as well, whether you are religious, you know? And the thing is, when it comes to the LGBT community, everyone kind of shoves it down other people's throats. Like, oh, you shouldn't be religious because religion is bad, like I ban all religions. And specifically Christianity. Which really kind of confuses me because everyone kind of accepts all the other religions, but when it comes to Christianity, it's like, But all religions are really shitty towards LGBT communities. Well, most religions. So I don't understand why we have to ostracize Christianity when it comes to that case. So I was thinking that this is just another fad. Like, before we had other things which I can't recall, but now it's just like, let's ban religion. And before, there was a very heavy emphasis on different types of feminism and how we should stop, for instance, Mitchfest. And now people don't even know what Mitchfest is, which to me sounds really absurd. Specifically when people are like, oh yeah, feminism has always been by our side. And then I'm like, wait. Where were you like 5 years ago when Mitchfest was closing? Where were you? Sucking in your mom's nipple? Okay. So people kind of forget about the fact that feminism was really transphobic. And this is very controversial as well for me to say. If I say feminism was transphobic, because everyone kind of hides behind feminism's back thinking that it can somehow protect us. Just like people before would hide behind religion. So I come from those times when, or rather I came out in those times when religion was okay, and feminism was kind of like really looked under a magnifying glass. And it was before all those Emma Watsons and everyone, the Me Too movement, everyone decided to speak up about feminism, So my point is, the more I look at it, religion and feminism, the more I feel like it's just the LGBT community looking at fads. There was also a time when, let's not forget that recently there was a whole scandal of whether ace people, there still is, whether ace people belong in LGBT spaces or not. So there's always something we're bickering about, for fuck's sake. So on that topic, I just wanted to say that we shouldn't be like a crowd. Like, think for yourself. If you were religious and you want to continue being religious, you should absolutely do that. Like, I'm quietly religious, but I wish I was a bit more outspoken. And it always comes as a shock to people when I show my crosses and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm religious. Or like, hey, yeah, I carry icons in my backpack. Yeah, I'm kind of those religious people which you're kind of scared of, to be honest. But, that's me. And I don't just go shoving my religion down people's throats. What I do is that I calmly go to church when I want to. I calmly pray when I want to. I calmly discuss religion when I want to. And it's a part of me. It's a part of who I am. Now, when it comes to feminism, I wanted to address that people should really look back into the past of it. Because it was quite transphobic. It was feminism which divided the LGBT community into, different parts. And people forget that. People think that feminists have always been there for us, when they really haven't. And even when you look at current feminist discussions, you see that men are left out very often, trans men, cis men, black men, Asian men, etc. So everyone has their problems, but feminism only holds a torch for cis white feminists these days. And everyone thinks yes, queen, we should defend her. And that kind of gets on my nerves. It's a fad. It's a very annoying fad right now. Because people don't understand the history. Or people look at Leslie Feinberg, for instance, who identified as a feminist. Right? Who went to Mitchfest, who wrote Stone Butch Blues while being at Mitchfest, As in while attending Mitchfest, I mean. I don't know if, there was a pen and paper while the concert was going on, but, it was around the same years. So what do you want me to say? Do you want me to just close my eyes and say, oh, feminism is great? Do you want me to close my eyes and say religion is great? No, religion is shit as well. It's about my relationship with the church. So basically what I mean is that if you want to be a feminist, go for it. choose your branch, study wisely. Think of your relationship with it. If you want to be religious, choose your branch, study, know what you're dealing with. And it's the same thing. They're both cults. I'm just gonna quickly apply my lipstick while you think about it. Whoops. My lipstick broke. My point is, you can't just choose something or be something just because your friend is doing it. Just like you shouldn't jump off a cliff just because your friend is doing it. So same comes with religion, and same comes with feminism. That's why I'm doing these two parallels, because to me, feminism is controversial. To others, religion is controversial. Before, to me, religion was controversial, feminism was fine. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and that's what I wanted to emphasize on. And afterwards, we're gonna have something else, you know? That's the way we've always been as a community. We find something to shield ourselves with. We find some allies, or we support someone else, when in reality we should be uniting with each other, the LGBT community. Instead of like thinking, oh, the T should be excluded, oh, asexual should be excluded, oh, I don't know what should be excluded. So, you know. So, if I were to like navigate or like to steer the wheel for the LGBT community, that's what I do. I'd really try to unite us instead, because there's a lot of hate. And that is the finished look. So what I wanted to say is, be you. Choose which cult you want to support. And don't drag your friends along, you can discuss it, and that's about it. And I'd like to say thank you very much for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a subscribe if you enjoyed it. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.